The Coca-Cola Football Fever podcast available at ESPNstar.com, Goal.com, StadiumAstro.com, the new paper and iTunes. International football discussion with an Asia-Pacific perspective.
Robert, you are the original coach here in Singapore in the S-League. You started when the S-League started. I think it was with Tiong Bahru, who became Tanjong Pagar, and you also with Home United. How much does the S-League need a revamp?
And when they started, it was like the breakaway league from the Malaysian league, more or less. So we had 25, 30,000 people watching the local matches. I think after that, the same what happened in Malaysia, more or less. The TV took over. I think both countries are not really prepared for the big impact the English league had in this part of the world. And I think that is where everybody struggled. Malaysia went down, all over the region the numbers went down, except maybe Indonesia, where they don't have that, the Astro and all the satellites and things like that. So they still support their home clubs. But here you watch TV. And now they start doing what I can see, a lot of promotion. You need to do this, you need to do that. But people are not coming for that. People are coming for the game itself. And I think people have lost a bit of interest in the game because it's the same teams in the same area over and over, the same football faces, the same people running the show. So people lose interest in that aspect. I think open up for foreigners with quality. Bring in some money into the game that you can, hey, Drogba's coming here, big name players coming here. Attraction, that is how it worked in Japan, that is how it worked in Korea. It's working now in China. And there's no shortage of money in Singapore. There's no shortage of money in Malaysia. It's only we handle it differently. It's political money. Over there, the money is going into the sports events. And if we do that over here, I'm convinced people come and see a big name player play, but not a player that is no more playing for a long time. It must be still a player that is really recognized as a current good player. And that you can go to the big companies. Companies can sponsor players to come in. They can pay the salaries for them, not the clubs.
What is this? Windows 3.0? What is the a new desktop that's come out or something? Run a bloody league. It's not hard. What's wrong with Singapore football for me is the fact it's lack of organisation, eggs in different baskets. You've got the Lions 12, which has taken away large parts of the S-League support, or what there was of S-League support has been taken away. They all want to see them.
Because the Lions 12 actually are getting good crowds, and as we should point out to any national viewers, that the Lions 12 are a Singapore team that play in the Malaysian League, the top flight.
What they should have done, for me, is said, no thanks to the Lions 12, and said, forget about that. Because, look, it's history. It was great when they were part of the Malaysian League and the setup, and it's fantastic, prestigious. You need to move with the times. If you want your own flourishing league, put some money into it. Don't just forget about it and goes, it's funny, I was talking to someone the other day, and he just basically said, no one cares about the S-League anymore because everyone wants to watch a Lions 12. So it's like the FAS rather have just washed away with it and said, you sit there quietly, just keep going, let us know how you go occasionally, and we'll keep going with Lions 12. What they could have done is not bothered the Lions 12 and invested that money back into the S-League, make people know about it, make them want to come to the game, do initiatives within it, promote it heavily. People, if you promote something, people go to it eventually.
But you've got to have good product. I think Robert makes a good point.
Yeah, but that all comes with promotion, with people putting in some money. You get good players, but it comes gradually. I mean, Steven Gerrard won't turn up here overnight.
You were covering the S-League in the early years. What's your take on the 3.0 version and the need to revamp?
Look, I actually agree with the guys on both sides here. I'm not going to get as wound up because I usually do every week. The 3.0 is what it is. It's window dressing. No more, no less. Changing beep test, relegation, promotion will not make a jot of difference until there is a fundamental cultural change in Singapore. And for that to happen, it must come from the top. I know this sounds like a broken record. It must come from the government down. They must be seen to invest money, and I mean real money, tens of millions of dollars, which is still pocket change to the Singapore government anyway. They put it in they're starting to put it more in the arts. You're seeing it now down at the Esplanade, Marina Bay Sands, Resorts World, Sentosa. Sometimes I think they should just put casinos in every S-League football club. We'd be laughing. I'm not really saying that. Don't get excited. But what I am saying is you've got to put serious money in, and it's got to be grassroots from the youth level up. There are state lands in Singapore that HDB, the landlords of these state-owned lands, do not allow to be used because they have been earmarked for future development, which may be 10, 20, 30 years away. Fine. In the meantime, why can't they be used as football pitches? They're not going to kill grass. But they've never been released because there's this, to use a local term, kiasu, this fear of damaging this valued land. Open them up. Let kids play there. Let the teenagers play there. Let them book these pitches for a nominal sum. Don't make them charge $150 to go and rent a pitch. They can't all afford it. So there has to be this change from the grassroots up. Any available land, like when you grow up in England, India, Australia, Holland, any available land must be made available for sports. Let kids play. Encourage kids to play. And then encourage parents to let the kids continue to play as they go through their academic career. Show them there is a path, there is a financial pathway to a career in sport. Unless that happens, the S-League will never, ever get any better. And you can have all the Lions 12s in the world, nothing's going to change that.
Well, Martin Luther King has nothing on Neil Humphreys when it comes to talking about Singapore football.